It's the professional MasterChef semi-finals. Last time, the knockouts reduced 12 chefs down to the best 8. Now, the competition intensifies as the remaining chefs cook off for a chance to work with some of the most inspirational culinary talent in the country.
Smashed it, really good, all down to the training.
Most chefs feel the pressure, but this is a whole different ballgame of pressure.
I'm living the dream here right now. It's amazing. The first thing every day when I wake up, what do I have to do for the competition?
This is a life-changing experience. I'm going to keep pushing myself. I want a spot in that finals. I can see it. It's got my name in it.
We have 8 chefs left and nobody wants to go home. The competition is heating up to a level I've not seen for a long, long time.
There is an enormous amount at stake for our chefs. This is when they've got to really showcase what they are about. Bring it into this kitchen now.
Welcome to the semi-finals. Chefs, every time you walk back in here, we expect magic. You set the bar yourselves, now you have to match it and rise above it.
We have set you a brief to create us a dish based on a memory of someone who has inspired you along your cooking journey. It's got to be beautiful, it's got to be tasty, and it's got to hit all the right notes.
At the end of it, we, the judges, will choose 2, maybe 3 of our favourite dishes, and those chefs will go straight through to the next round. The rest of you will have to cook off again. 1 hour and 45 minutes. Chefs, off you go.
"33-year-old naval chef Andrew has had a strong competition, impressing with some boldly flavoured, crowd-pleasing food.
This is going to be very different from everything I've cooked before. I'm taking a huge risk doing my first pastry dish. I'm not a pastry chef by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love to cook desserts. Hopefully, it goes well. So the dish is a pistachio frangipan with white chocolate set cream encased in a strawberry jelly, a crumble of pistachios and cardamom, and a pink lemonade sorbet.
What's inspired this dish, Andrew?
So this dish is inspired by my granddad. One particularly endearing memory was going strawberry picking with him, which we did quite a lot. We would always go to the shop, buy pink lemonade. That's where this pink lemonade sorbet is from. It's just memories like that that I think ignited my passion for food and sort of steered me onto my career to be a chef.
This dessert sounds beautiful. Andrew is making a white chocolate set cream. We want it quite light and really lovely texture when you eat it.
He's decided to use ground pistachios in place of the almonds in his frangipan. Tricky thing to do, but it can work. We've got strawberry jelly. I love sorbet, I love lemonade. I think this could work very, very well with strawberries.
"25-year-old senior sous chef Freddie has nearly 5 years' experience in Michelin kitchens. He has stood out with some elegant, classically inspired dishes.
This dish is dedicated to my grandparents, so I need to make them proud. It's flavours that I can remember when I was a child. But I'm going to try really hard just to make sure that all 3 judges enjoy this dish.
Freddie, what's inspired this dish today?
My granddad used to have a garden, so we used to pick lots of fresh vegetables all the time. Broad beans, carrots, thyme, garlic, all of that, which then my grandmother would then cook, and she always used to do duck. At the time, it was mallard, because it's normally game season, because my granddad was a gamekeeper.
Ah.
Yeah, so it sort of represents them, and my gran used to do the best duck. The skin was always crispy, it was so fatty, it was really good.
And it was that experience with your grandparents that inspired you to become a chef?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely played upon it, because when I was younger, I used to make, like, scones and sausage rolls with my grandmother. And then in the winter, I'd help my grandfather, like, pluck all the pheasants and draw the guts out, that sort of thing. And then we'd then enjoy that later on when my grandmother used to cook it.
He's cooking his duck with some honey, and just running some spices through it, and then lots of little vegetables to go with it. He's making a white chicken meat mousse, which he's going to fill a courgette flour with. I'm hoping he's going to then steam it gently and not pan fry it, because it does, this mousse could burst out everywhere.
Duck is roasted on the crown. It's about good cookery, good resting. Freddie has decided not to serve a sauce with his dish. He's going to let the ingredients speak for themselves.
Chefs, 20 minutes have gone.
Exose is a 22-year-old chef de partie from Manchester. He went straight through to the semi-finals, winning the most votes in the pop-up challenge with his complex banoffee dessert.
So my mum used to always make loads of food, loads of cake for the whole family. It's such a big family. And then there was this time she made a chocolate and orange cake, and it was just my favourite since then. I'm doing my own version of chocolate and orange, so I'm doing a chocolate and orange meal-free for you. It's going to have a chocolate and cardamom ganache and an orange diplomat. I'm going to have my own little chocolate bar and a blood orange sorbet.
Wow.
Yep, tempering chocolate today.
You've proved already you have skill in pastry. Is this playing to your strengths today?
It's a big risk, but hopefully it'll work out today.
The layers of the millefeuille, the pastry needs to be crispy, the filling very smooth. The sorbet is going to be set in time. Not only that, he's got a chocolate bar on the side, which sounds fantastic.
Got a lot of processes. He needs to get them done as fast as possible.
Just getting the chocolate bar right. If the shell's too thick, I've got no dish. It's a massive risk, but I'm here to take risks. Bring it on.
27-year-old head chef Stu has excited the judges with his creativity and unusual flavour combinations, influenced by his hometown of Birmingham.
So this dish is inspired by two chefs that I used to work for, Andreas Antona, who's the owner of Simpsons, and Luke Tippin, the chef director. They initially, to me, were just chefs. Now they're more like family, because when I worked with them, I was quite a troubled teenager, used to get in trouble with the police, and having that little bit of a regimented atmosphere kind of took me away from that. They got me on the right path, and I put my passion and my energy into cooking instead.
Love the story. I love the inspiration. So tell us about your dish.
So it's lamb rump with a lamb kofta and bulgur wheat with smoked almonds and pomegranate.
Were the chefs you worked for North African or Middle Eastern?
The owner is Greek Cypriot, and he takes some influences from Africa as well. It's all about trying to show them that I learned a lot from them and how much they mean to me.
I'm sure they'll be proud of you.
Thank you.
Lamb cookery, the kofta, beautiful spices running through that. Key to success with lamb rump is always to rest it. Stew's lamb sauce is red wine, apricots, honey, and vinegar. Sounds a little bit on the sweet side for me.
He's making a bulgur wheat infused with saffron, coriander mint, pomegranates, and smoked almonds. Love the addition of the yogurt. Will bring some freshness to this dish.
Everything rides on this dish because it's in homage to two people that were a massive influence on my career. And if I get this wrong, I don't think I'll ever be able to go there again.
Chefs, 35 minutes have gone. 35 minutes gone.
Executive chef Arbinder has shown a deft touch with some contemporary Asian-influenced dishes.
My wife loved this dish. My little one, she loves this dish. Whoever have tasted this dish before, they just absolutely admire this dish. So I think that's the reason it's very close to my heart. So this dish is a mushroom kebab, served with a truffle cheese, pickled wild mushrooms, and it's served with a mushroom broth on the side. History goes a long way back with the kings and queens who doesn't used to have a teeth to bite the kebabs. So the chefs in the kitchen, they developed a recipe that they don't have to chew the kebab, so it just melts in the mouth.
Is this an Indian-flavoured dish or a European-flavoured dish?
It's an Indian-inspired flavor dish, but I'm trying to influence a bit of European flavors in it.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. I've never eaten a mushroom kebab before, but if it tastes good, why not? It's got pickled wild mushrooms, a truffle cream cheese, saffron paratha, and of course the mushroom broth. You want it to be beautifully flavoured and to complement the dish.
Chefs, 45 minutes left, please. 45 minutes.
French-born private chef Jan has fought his way to the semi-finals, cooking some inventive fusion food.
My personal dish is very, very 1970s French. I love the style. I mean, it's ugly and a little bit weird, but it was such a great era, such great recipes. So this dish is actually the first dish I've ever learned how to cook when I was 14. I did a stage in Luxembourg. The passion of all the chefs that were there and the incredible food and like very intense and tasty food that they were serving. For me, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So it's a poached pie quenelle with a lobster bisque and poached lemongrass leeks. So today I'm kind of revisiting a little bit the dish. I'm making it a little bit lighter with like Thai flavors, lemongrass, kaffir limes and all that.
My husband's grandmother, she's French, used to make something very similar, and it's sort of an acquired taste, a pike mousse, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you believe the addition of some Asian spices is going to bring a new angle to this dish?
If you think about it, in Thailand and in Asia, they also use like catfish and like river fish, so strongly flavored fish. I think, in my opinion, it makes sense.
I'm really curious. I do like the sound of it.
Thank you.
I'm intrigued.
Pike quenelle, it's classical, it's very French. Jan has got to get the mousse smooth. You don't want the Thai flavours to overpower the bisque. It has to be nice and light and complement the dish as a whole.
"24-year-old hotel sous chef Olivia has grown with every round, producing beautifully presented modern British dishes.
So the inspiration is my grandmother. She always used to cook for me a lot when I was a child. I used to go to stay at her house, used to go on holiday every single year. So plums and custard was one of the things she always used to cook for me. Stewing the plums, it kind of takes me straight back to my childhood, and I've got a really, really sweet tooth, so I always used to kind of like just eat the sugar off the top of the crumble.
So you've modernised Granny's dessert then?
Yeah, absolutely. So she's eaten at every single restaurant I've ever worked at, so she's kind of that real, like, support of my career.
Olivia has taken the milk custard element and she's setting it in the bowl. We want you to be able to get your spoon through it. It's lovely and smooth. She also has almond and oat crumble.
There's also going to be a sablé biscuit. It's got to be beautiful and light. You don't want it to be tough, you don't want it to crack. Sablé is about melting in the mouth.
You have 30 minutes left, OK? 30 minutes.
Pembrokeshire-based pub head chef Malin was fast-tracked into the final 8 after he stood out in the pop-up challenge, cooking a tasty Sri Lankan barbecue lobster dish.
I think it is very difficult to bring the food from Sri Lanka when everyone's doing fine dining, everything's refined. When you cook in my style of food, it is more about layers and layers of flavor in the food.
What has inspired this dish?
I grew up in a small village, and my auntie and uncle moved to Colombo, the main city in Sri Lanka, and there's so many street food vendors. And the first things we used to get was some parathas and a bit of chutney with the curry. I'm doing deviled calamari, so that's what I want to create, the memories.
Do you think your trips inspired you to be a chef?
Definitely. It inspired me to look for different food and try different things.
I'm looking forward to tasting the street food of Colombo. Very much, Malin. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am so intrigued by this dish. Really like the burrata, flatbread, but it actually has some layers through it as well. And the dal, which is used the red lentil, it's got some spices through this.
Really looking forward to the tamarind chutney, always a great flavour. Deviled calamari, you want the calamari to be tender, you don't want it to be too chewy. And with all those different spices running through it, it should be delicious.
8 minutes, chefs. 8 minutes. Come on. Chefs, you have 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes. OK, stop. Stop. Finished. Time's up.
How did it go?
Yeah, good.
Looks good.
Jan, influenced by the first dish he learned to make as a chef, has made pike mousse quenelle, lemongrass poached leeks, and a Thai basil crisp, with poached lobster tail and a Thai flavoured bisque.
I really like that. I think the presentation's really smart, very delicate.
The pike quenelle, I find on its own, not my favourite thing, but with the sauce and the lobster pieces, it's possibly the first time I've really enjoyed pike quenelles.
I'm not a fan of pike, but I like that because it's light. Love your bisque. That's a bisque with an undercurrent of Thai red curry. I like the look of the crisp, but I don't get any Thai basil from it.
The lobster is beautifully cooked. The bisque has got a lovely warmth, that Thai flavour that sits in the background, so it's beautifully made. But I don't like the pike mousse. It's almost aerated. I also find the leeks bland as well. I like bits of the dish, but I don't like all of the dish as a whole.
It was a gamble to do the pike. I've convinced Monica and Greg, but unfortunately, like to make it through, I have to convince all the 3 judges, obviously. She's getting ready to cook again.
Inspired by his aunt and uncle, Malin has made a selection of Sri Lankan street food. Deviled squid with a turmeric and cumin dal. Coconut and cucumber salad with a green chili and curry leaf oil. Tamarind chutney, Colombo nut mix, and paratha breads.
I really like the way you've served your dish today. You brought a bit of fun with the little satchel on the side to keep the paratha. Your deviled calamari has a chili, but there's a sweetness and soy running through it, which I really enjoy. And then with the dal on the side, it works so well together. And then the sweetness from the chutney on the side. I'm really enjoying this.
Your squid is beautifully cooked, but when you say deviled, I imagine hot, and that's not hot. That's a very, very mellow spicing on there. Love your Colombo mix, but that feels to me as if it's a nibble, and I don't really see where that fits on a squid dish.
I think the squid has been cooked well. It's sweet more than deviled. I find the yoghurt salad a little bit on the salty side. I do like the dal. It's got great flavour, lovely colour. It's a flavoursome dish, but for me, it's not cutting edge in its presentation or in its eating.
I'm feeling mixed emotions right now. One of the judges absolutely loved everything, and then 2 of the judges wasn't very convinced. I did what I felt like, and I'm very happy about it.
In homage to his early chef mentors, Stu has made a lamb rump and lamb kofta. bulgur wheat with smoked almonds and pomegranate, poached apricots, green beans, pickled onion, lime yogurt, and coriander cress, and a lamb sauce.
The lamb is nice and pink, nicely seasoned as well. I really like the little lamb kofta. The sweetness of the apricots really cut through this dish, and the addition of almonds and pomegranate all together, it's sort of reminiscent of Middle Eastern flavors, which work very well.
That kofta needs a little more fat. It's going a little bit dry. But your flavors, I think, are fabulous.
The bulgur wheat has got great texture with the pomegranates and the nuts running through that. And I love the little green beans on the top as well. The apricots, not too sweet, great flavour. I'm starting to really enjoy your cookery, Stu. Well done.
I'm really proud to just have done the dish justice to the people that it was set out for. That's possibly the best moment of my life in the kitchen so far, to be honest.
Andrew's dish is inspired by his time spent picking strawberries with his grandfather. It's a white chocolate set cream on a pistachio frangipan base, covered with strawberry jelly, marinated and freeze-dried strawberries, strawberry and lemon gel, cardamom crumble, pulled sugar basil leaf, and a pink lemonade sorbet.
Fantastic looking dessert, full of technical work, really good, really attractive. That mild strawberry over the mild white chocolate on the stronger flavour frangipan is a delight. I love that combination. Your pink lemonade sorbet tastes a bit like lemonade and raspberry, but it's far too sugary. It's like having a raspberry lemonade syrup.
The main dessert is very, very nice. The little garnish that sits on the side, the strawberries, I think you've just got a bit more work into elevating them. The green pulled sugar doesn't really bring anything to the dish apart from a garnish that actually the dish could do without.
The flavours of strawberries really do stand out, but the pink lemonade sorbet is not to my liking. It is far too sweet, and I don't think you need it.
I feel OK. I set out to prove that I could do desserts, and I think I've done that. But the sorbet was a disaster.
Exose's dessert is based on baking cakes with his mum. He's made millefeuille with cardamom and chocolate ganache and an orange diplomat cream, topped with orange and cardamom puree, torched orange segments and candied orange, a chocolate bar on a thin wafer base, filled with an orange liqueur caramel, and a blood orange sorbet.
I think your dessert looks wonderful, but I do have to say, make sure every bit of your piping on your millefeuille is spot on. You don't want any angles on it. A little critique for you. The chocolate ganache with the cardamom mousse on top of it, you've got the layers and they're very distinct. For me, it would have been too sweet, but you have the sharp orange gel on the top, which really cuts through sweetness, which I find very important. It's delightful.
That blood orange sorbet, just the right amount of sweetness, just the right amount of sharpness. I've got one small complaint, and that is the orange liqueur inside your beautifully made chocolate could have a little bit more heat of booze. But that is an absolute cracker.
Your chocolate work is divine. I agree with the guys. Smash it full of booze, pack it in there, make it adult, make it naughty. But I'll forgive you for that because you've really showcased brilliant cookery. Well done, you.
Thank you. I'm buzzing. The comments were amazing. Only a few little critiques. I've already been put through twice not to cook again. Can I get a hat trick? I'm not sure. We'll have to find out.
Inspired by his grandparents, who were gamekeepers and keen gardeners, Freddie has made a roasted duck breast with spiced honey glaze, courgette flour filled with boudin blanc mousse, carrot and ginger puree, baby vegetables of carrots, turnips and leeks, and saffron potatoes.
Freddie, I like the way you've presented your dish. It looks lovely, the different colours of the vegetables. The cooking of the duck, it's nice and pink. It's how I would have it. I just find with the honey glaze, it's sweet on sweet. I'd wish you'd made some kind of sauce to cut through that sweetness.
The courgette flour with the truffle chicky mousse is well made, and there's a lovely hint of truffle running through it too. But all your vegetables are bland and undercooked in areas.
I love the hint of ginger and sweetness you got in your puree. The truffle and sweetness of the duck, I think, really, really works. I'd like a crispier duck skin, and I'm not a fan of all these vegetables standing up, creating an edible forest.
One of the best comments I've had so far. A little bit disappointed in the duck cookery. I probably could have got the skin a bit crispier. Mistakes, that might cost me.
Arbinder has served his take on a kebab dish originally created for ancient Mughal kings. He has served a mushroom kebab on a saffron paratha with pickled wild mushrooms, truffle cream cheese, mint and coriander chutney, sep powder, crispy shallots, and a wild mushroom broth.
I like how you've presented this mushroom kebab dish. Very fancy.
I've got an issue with the texture of that mushroom kebab. You described it as being given to royalty that had no teeth. It's too soft, it's almost wet. I do, however, really like your flavours. You got a lot of truffle going into saffron, into a mild cream cheese flavour.
Love the saffron running through the paratha, and I like the mint and coriander with it. You know, so there's a couple of things I do like, but the actual kebab, I also find it hard to like it.
The best thing about this is your little mushroom broth. It's flavoursome, it's light, but the truffle essence in this dish for me is too strong. The mushrooms, they're not pickled enough. I just don't like the dish, unfortunately. It's not for me.
Really, really disappointed. The judges think that it's not up to the mark and they didn't like the texture, so I think I'm cooking again.
Olivia has created a dessert inspired by her grandmother's plums and custard, made of confit plums in a set milk custard, sablé biscuit, oat and almond crumble, and a plum puree.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Looks like it was made by fairies.
The custard has set perfectly. You haven't diluted the plums and too much sweetness. You've got the textures with the biscuit and the crumb. I love it. If I hadn't eaten 7 plates of food already, I'd eat the rest of this dessert.
I think that's an absolute stroke of genius. But in its heart and soul, it is still plums and custard. And they are delicious. Plums, slightly sharp, not too sweet, and a beautiful, mellow, cold, milky custard. Really, really clever work.
The sablé biscuit is beautiful. It melts in the mouth as it should. The little crumble sitting around the top, it's great. Granny would be so proud and so pleased as this dish. Well done, you. It's really good.
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like 12. Definitely the best feedback I've had in the competition so far. If I got straight through, I'd be riding through to the next round on an absolute high. So yeah, fingers crossed, just nervous now.
Do you know what? We've got 8 chefs out there, all with very, very different styles. And each one of those 8 completely giving it their all. I think that's inspiring.
I thought it was a great round. It's made for very interesting semi-finals.
For me, the best chef in the kitchen today was Olivier. I thought the dessert was brilliant in all areas. I couldn't fault it. What I liked about it was the attention to detail.
Clever, clever from Olivia.
I think we're going to see much more amazing dishes from this young chef. Exose's dessert was also one of my top dishes today. That chocolate bar with the orange liqueur, the layers of the mousse, very clever.
Great chocolate work, love the filling, love the idea, love this dessert.
Exose could have had a smarter looking millefeuille, but he couldn't have had a better tasting dessert. He is having a hell of a competition. There's 2 other dishes that I really liked as well. One was stew with his lamb. The other one was Jan with his pike quenelle.
Stu loved his lamb dish. It was beautifully balanced and very, very well executed.
Jan just completely took me by surprise because I don't particularly like pike, yet I really liked his flavours.
I thought Jan did a great job with it and lots of that lobster Thai bisque to go with it.
Malin cooked squid really, really well, and I loved the chutney. I just wasn't sure how the whole dish came together.
Good dish, but there was other really good cooks in the kitchen today.
Not your favourite, but I absolutely loved his dish today.
I just want to discuss Andrew and his dessert because I thought the tube was an absolute delight. It looked a picture, it tasted great.
The jelly over the top, fantastic. Though it was sweet, he has showed some skill in this dessert.
His dessert was nice, but he just happened to cook his first dessert when there were 2 very strong other desserts in the kitchen today.
Right, we've talked about the best chefs. The big question is, who is going to go straight through to the next round? Have you got 2 favourites? Have you possibly got 3? It's been a difficult judging, most certainly. We have chosen our favourite dishes. The first chef going through is Olivia. Well done. The second chef going through, Exose. Congratulations. They were the 2 favourites. We have a third. Stu. Well done, Stu. Congratulations. Very well done, chefs. Off you go.
Super, super happy. You know, it's amazing to be their favourite dish. So yeah, I'm just really, really happy.
Just got to hatch. That's 3 times now where I've not had to cook again. It just feels amazing.
I can't believe it. To get in the final 6, it's such a massive achievement. This is the biggest thing in my career to date.
Right, chefs, you're going to have to pick yourselves up and showcase just how good you really are.
We want you to create one dish with the ingredients that we have on these benches behind us. There is no meat. There is no dairy. We want a plant-based dish.
Make it exciting and show us that you deserve a place in the next round.
At the end of this, 2 of you will be leaving the competition. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Off you go, chefs.
In addition to a wide range of fruit and vegetables, The chefs can also choose from a selection of beans and pulses, rice and grains, tofu, mushrooms, nuts and seeds, plant milks and yogurts, and a variety of herbs and spices.
This is difficult for our chefs. The things that we traditionally use, such as eggs, cream, and butter, are not available. They've got to adapt their cookery to still be able to bring that richness, that flavors, the luxury that you want to enjoy in food.
I am excited and nervous as well. It is a lot of ingredients, so I have to make sure that I'm not gonna overcomplicate what I'm making.
I'm ready for it. I know what I'm gonna do, so yeah, definitely up for this. I'm gonna give it everything.
I really like plant-based food, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna have to be absolutely perfect. We have to really push that forward, the extra step.
We don't just want a plate of vegetables or some herbs scattered around some ingredients. We want imagination, we want some creative thinking. We want our chefs to run wild with this challenge. We want to really showcase their skills.
How are you, Andrew?
I always expected to be cooking a second time, but I'm really happy with doing a plant-based dish. Thai food comes to mind instantly.
What are you doing then, Andrew?
So I'm going to do green curry.
Yeah.
Green curry, really aromatic, fresh curry paste, and then just serving it with some courgettes and mushrooms, and butternut squash is going to be the sort of main element of it.
Of course, your wife is from Thailand.
Yep.
And the last time you cooked a Thai dish, we went crazy.
Yeah, if it's anything like hers, then it will blow your mind.
It's going to be all about the Thai green paste. This is a dish that's going to need to pack a lot of flavour. I'm going to be focusing on individual cookery, whether it's got bite, whether it's going to be soft. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm curious how he's going to present his dish. Is it just a bowl, or is he going to refine his Thai green curry like he did his last Thai dish, yet deliver those beautiful flavours?
Yan, would you naturally choose to cook with vegetables?
I love it, yeah. I used to be vegan when I was in my band. We used to organize gigs and stuff like this in France and touring a little bit, so I had that lifestyle for a little bit. But then when I entered, kitchens, obviously, I had to stop.
What are you cooking, yeah?
Turmeric cauliflower and miso puree. Got some pickled mushrooms, pecan and chive, vinaigrette, and OT creme fraiche.
What would you give right now for a chicken?
I don't know. I think I like cauliflower.
It's all about the cooking of the cauliflower, which he's poaching in turmeric, which is going to bring a fluorescent yellow colour to it. I really like the addition of the chive and pecan nut dressing. You've got little textures for crispy shallots, as well as a lemon creme fraiche.
I think this dish is going to be a very artistic plate of food. Jan is really determined. He knows exactly what style he's looking for.
Everything is going to plan so far, so I'm dying for the judges to like it. Yeah, excited.
Chefs, a little less than an hour. About 55 minutes left.
You all right, Harbinder?
Not really happy with the first round as it went, but just trying to get back into the zone. I'm doing a beetroot salad with coconut yogurt, with chickpeas and potatoes, and I'm doing a black onion seed puff.
Is there any influence from your home region in this dish?
Not so much of the beetroot, but use a lot of chickpeas at home, use a lot of potatoes in all the dishes, and trying to make a tamarind-based chutney.
Any spices?
Just a little bit of spices I'm using, like cumin seeds, red chili powder, coriander seeds in it.
If it tastes like it smells, Harbinder, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Harbinder's taking some influence from North India, where he's from. I'm curious how beetroot, tamarind, and coconut actually come together.
We've got onion, coriander, and chili going through the chickpeas and potato. We've got a black onion seed crisp, hopefully seasoned as well. There's not a lot to Harbinder's dish. I hope he revisits the table. I think this dish seems just a little bit short in its excitement.
Chefs, you are halfway. Halfway, please.
Freddie, how do you feel about a plant-based dish?
Yeah, I feel quite excited about it.
Yeah.
It's something that we deal with day to day. It's such a common thing now. So, yeah, I just want to get my head down and crack on and hopefully cook you a really nice plate of food.
Good. What's your thinking?
So I'm going to go for a cauliflower steak. I'm sort of treating it as if I would do a bit of fish. So I've got some capers, gherkins, lemon, a bit of parsley. So I'm going to finish the cauliflower steak with that sort of citrusy sauce. I'm also going to turn a little baby artichoke. I've got some lovely asparagus. I'm going to finish the dish with a cauliflower and apple salad.
You've got no butter. I mean, if it was a piece of fish, right, you've got half a kilo of butter in there.
Yeah, there would be a huge butter in there.
What are you going to do instead of the butter?
I'm going to try the extra virgin olive oil and see what the dairy-free butter tastes like. I'm going to see which one I prefer the taste of and go with that.
I like the sound of the pan-roasted cauliflower with the capers, lemon and gherkin. I'm not sure where asparagus fits into this, and also curious how the cauliflower and apple salad is going to go with this pan-roasted cauliflower.
We've got baby artichokes. We've also got some artichoke crisps on the dish as well. Presentation-wise, this dish could look stunning.
Malin, what's your dish?
I'm going to make a coconut mousse with mangoes, raspberries, and then I'm going to do a yuzu gel and a tuile.
Why dessert? Why? That's a brave thing to do right now.
It is, but then I've been cooking lots of savoury dishes, so I wanted to do something different.
Have you made a plant-based dessert before?
I have tried few different ones at home. I am confident of it, but I've got a lot to prove again, so I'm going to get everything together and make sure that I get this dish right.
Coconut mousse is going to be nice and light, creamy. Malin is making a tuile, substituting egg whites for chickpea liquid, some flour and a bit of sugar. This should work fine.
The yuzu gel, beautiful fruity, acidic flavour. Fresh mangoes, beautiful and sweet with nice acidic raspberries. The only dessert in the kitchen at this stage of the competition. Can't wait.
Chefs, 5 minutes, please. Two and a half minutes. Final touches. Stop! Time's up.
How'd it go, big guy?
All right.
What you wanted?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
To secure his place in the final 6, Andrew has cooked yellow courgette, butternut squash, wild mushrooms and cashew nuts on soba noodles in a Thai green curry sauce.
Andrew, I love the colour of your Thai green curry. I don't think I've seen a Thai green curry this fluorescent green.
Thai green curry sauce is delicious. The noodles, they've got the right texture, you cook them well. And you cook your vegetables well. It hits the right notes in the Thai flavours. It's not cutting edge, but it is tasty.
The flavours of it are wonderful. And I'm so impressed with how you made the actual paste and the curry itself. But I find the vegetables, because they've been cooked separately, have not soaked the curry up. Part of the indulgent eating of a Thai green curry are all those beautiful vegetables soaked and cooked in it.
There's a back note of galangal, and of course you've got lemongrass in there, so that citrus and that ginger flavour are coming through. The courgette I particularly like because it gives a little bit of bitterness, like a pea aubergine. But it remains a homely-looking dish. But you have cooked it well, and your flavours are good because they're flavours you know.
Definitely took a risk by choosing a dish that is difficult to present in a sort of fine dining way. I didn't want to play around with it too much because I think it's like disrespectful to what it is, so I'm glad I did Thai green curry as it's meant to be.
Freddie has made cauliflower steak with a caper, gherkin, and lemon dressing. Cauliflower puree, accompanied by asparagus, baby artichoke, spinach, a fresh cauliflower and apple salad, and Jerusalem artichoke crisps.
Freddie, I like how you've presented your dish. It's very neat, it's tidy. The pan-roasted cauliflower with the capers, the gherkins, and the lemon going through it. I'm really enjoying that. The addition of the apples, I kind of wish you had it sort of through the dish, you know, instead of finding it on the side. The asparagus, I don't think is necessary. The cauliflower puree, you know, you need to really cook that down to get it a bit smoother on here.
You've cooked that cauliflower steak nicely and it's got colour on it, and I do like the salty sharpness of those capers. I think that's great. And even though you didn't have any butter, it tastes buttery, so well done. The artichoke is cooked nicely, as is the spinach, but it doesn't have any of the capers or any of the sharpness that's on the cauliflower, so it's a little bland.
Freddie, I think this dish is missing a sauce, the vinaigrette, more of it. You've got great vegetable cookery on the plate, the asparagus, the spinach. The cauliflower steak itself is very, very well cooked. But what we want is a dish where you've lifted it to new heights. You've got a very well-cooked dish, but it's not mind-blowing. It's not thinking, I want another one.
I think it went OK. Mixed again, so, yeah, some were good. I mean, the main element they liked, so hopefully they can oversee the garnish side of things. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Arbinder has made a heritage beetroot salad with spiced chickpea and potatoes, lemon balm and tomato, coconut yogurt, date and tamarind chutney, with spinach leaf fritters and black onion seed crisps.
Arbinder, I really like how you've dressed your salad. It's so colourful. It looks great. It's impressive to understand the balance of the ingredients that you've gone for to get this right. The coconut yogurt, the sweetness, and then, of course, bringing the beetroot, which, you know, can be very sweet as well. And I like that you've added the crispy spinach leaf, brings another texture to it. I think it's really tasty.
The vegetables are cooked nicely, and I get the earthy sweetness of beetroot, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more of your very, very good spicing and lifted this dish. I'd like some more Asian flavour.
Arbinder, I like it. It's fresh, it's light, it's a flavoursome plate of food. Little black onion seed crispies, they were really good, great texture. The beetroot is beautifully cooked, and it's beautiful and colourful in its presentation. You could argue we would all like more spice purely because we've tasted your spice cookery before, but the dish is what it is, and it tastes good as it is.
Feeling a bit more relief after the first round. I was really happy with the kind of food and the quality of the food which I've produced in this round. So hopefully see what's the positive outcomes is going to be.
Jan's dish is turmeric cauliflower on a pecan and cauliflower couscous, accompanied by yellow courgette filled with a miso puree, pickled mushrooms, crispy shallots, and sour oat cream, topped with a pecan, chive, and lemon vinaigrette.
It looks stunning, and it really stands out.
That's a cracking piece of cookery, that, Jan. Very, very good, very different, very creative. The cauliflower, the miso, the courgette, beautiful vinaigrette on the side, and then the brown cauliflower that is toasted with the nuts, it's a completely different flavour. For me, that's probably one of the best dishes you've cooked so far.
Inside the creme fraiche, you've got tartness, you've also got a little bit of sweetness and sharpness. Your vinaigrette is also nutty, but has sweet notes. but it's that miso paste that you've put for it as well. Gives it the flavour of peanut butter on toast. All those flavours together with cauliflower are an absolute delight.
The textures you've brought in this dish are fantastic. The cauliflower, with the addition of pecans through it, has sort of burnt butter flavour running through it. And then you've got the cauliflower cooked in turmeric as well. The little pickling throughout the dish, the shallots, just wonderful. I'd like to see a bit more of this style of cookery from you.
Yummy. Well done, Jan.
Thank you.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
That's what we want.
I'm very pleased. Managed to come back strong, so that's good. Obviously, still don't want to jump the guns and say, like, I might go through, but it looks pretty good.
Finally, Malin has made a coconut yogurt mousse topped by a sugar tuile. With yuzu liquid gel, torched mango, and fresh raspberries.
Your coconut mousse, the texture is very light, and I think I like a bit more sweetness through the actual mousse. The raspberries and the mango, you know, they bring a bit of sweetness and the fruit through it, and I like the yuzu gel. I want more of it. You know, it's got nice flavours. I need a bit more through this melon.
The yuzu gel, I think, brings a lovely sharpness. The mousse itself, which is the main part, I think is just lacking in coconut flavour.
When I think of mousse, I think of something that's got body to it, a little thicker, a little heavier. It's not got much flavour to it at all. There's a touch of sugar in there, but not a great deal. I feel like I'm eating whipped up chickpea water. The tuile is very clever, and I agree with the guys, we should have had some more of the gel or more of that flavour.
I'm not really confident, and then I did my best. The other option would have been to make, again, a Sri Lankan curry or spiced food, but I wanted to do something different, so I'm happy with what I did.
I think it's a great challenge that pushed our chefs to deliver a dish that is complete, innovative, and looks amazing. It's been great.
Look, I've got one standout dish, I think all three of us has, and that was cooked by Jan.
I loved Jan's cauliflower dish. The pecan nuts, turmeric running through it, some little pickling throughout. Stunning. Jan deserves to go straight through.
Textures, flavours, acid, salt, vinegar, it was all in this dish. Perfectly balanced. Plant-based cookery at its very, very best.
Malin's dessert just didn't have enough flavour. Coconut, mango, raspberries, flavours that work very well. I wanted more of that in this dish.
It was far looser than any mousse I've had, and it just didn't have very much flavour.
I just felt that whipped aquafaba with a very light scent of coconut really didn't hit any note at all. If we're going to choose a chef to go home, it would be Malin.
Right, we've got three chefs. Andrew, Freddie, and Arbinder, but only two places in the next round.
Arbinder made the beetroot salad. He had the coconut yoghurt and the deep-fried spinach. I thought it was a nice, light salad.
He had a tamarind syrup running through it, and it made it sweet, and I thought it was a tasty dish.
He had a bad dish in one round, and he come back and cooked a dish like that. And that's fantastic. We all said, wouldn't it be amazing if it had a bit of spice in it? But I thought it worked very, very well.
Freddie gave us the cauliflower steak with the capers, and I really liked that. The other bits did lack flavour.
He could have had a little bit more sauce, maybe a bit more acid in it. It just wasn't the cutting-edge dish.
Now that we actually think about his first dish, some of the feedback was the vegetables, so beautifully prepared, he could have really put some oomph into it to make him sing. And I feel Freddie should have taken that feedback and really come back with a stronger dish here.
Andrew gave us a Thai green curry that we all enjoyed the flavour of, but was it special enough?
The colour of it, you know, was stunning. For someone who loves a Thai green curry, I was just missing the vegetables being cooked through it and all that flavour going through it. Saying that, his first dish, that dessert, the mousse, strawberry over the top, white chocolate, that was lovely.
He cooked a nice dessert in the first round, but I felt that his main course today was homely.
I'd be surprised and very excited if I went through. So I've just got to hope for the best.
You've come so far, you've sacrificed so many things. You've given your hard work, your sweat. It'll be disappointing if I go home.
I'd feel quite emotional. I'm quite drained. I think it's still too early for me to go home yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Chefs, thank you for coming back and cooking a second time. It's really hard in this part of the competition when we have to start saying goodbye to such talent.
We have 3 chefs going through to the next round and, of course, 2 chefs leaving the competition. The first chef going through to the next round, Jan. Congratulations. The second chef going through, Arbinder. Well done, chef. The third and final chef going through, Andrew. Malin, Freddie, thank you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Judges. Thank you so much.
Disappointed to get knocked out at this stage. I've enjoyed myself here. It's been fun while it's lasted. I'll just look back on it as a great experience.
I don't want to say I'm disappointed in myself because I'm not. I came here to figure out if what I was creating, is it good enough? And that got me to semi-finals. So that is just, you know, that's amazing.
You are now final 6. Congratulations.
My mind is blown out. I can't believe it. This is definitely the highlight of my career so far. Today has been probably the hardest day in the kitchen I've ever had. I'm absolutely exhausted.
Absolutely incredible to be in the final 6. It's unbelievable. You can't explain your feeling.
Really intense day. We really did sweat and really worked hard for that one. It was a big, big, fat day, for sure.
Next time, the semi-finals continue as the first 3 chefs take on one of the country's most unique Michelin-starred kitchens.
Let's move. Got to get this out, chef. Got some hungry diners in there.
Only the best will go through to the finals.
Great flavours, and for me, fantastic.
That is just delicious.